I'm Counsel Aggrey Duku Arkangelo, a delegate to the 3rd Youth Convention, Central Equatoria. And today, we as delegates and non-delegates, especially youth who have the country at heart, decided to join me in launching the manifesto today. And this manifesto signifies the youth agenda, that is peaceful, united, and transformed union. I want to give you a hope, but not a promise. I am not a leader that promised to build a bridge where there is no river. I'm not a leader that promised heaven and earth to you when I cannot fulfill. But I want to promise a hope that once I'm elected, we need to see that our hopes are realized, our dreams come to pass, and our vision will always translate itself into a successful society. When we talk of inclusive, when we talk of peaceful, it means we are talking about how the union will surface in the eyes of the young people. Number 2, we want to see that by the end of our tenure, tribalism is reduced by 70%. If not 100%, at least 70%. We don't need to see ourselves through tribal line. I know tribes are good, but tribalism is not good. So our tribes are sweet. But when we talk of tribalism, it becomes a problem. So we must go with tribes rather than going with tribalism. So this is what we want to see in the union. This union is not going to offer to people financial support, but we are going to lobby to guide on how we can progress as young people. So we want to see a union that when a youth decides to come from that side of Lanya, decides to come from that side of Jebelado, decides to come from that side of Mangala, decides to come from that side of Nyepo, and he comes to Juba, he must feel home. And this is the vision of the young people. We want to see when someone decides to come from Loponok and goes to Yei and decided to reach to that side of Lasso, Umbase, he need to feel his home. We must provide a home for each other. Whether you come from where, but when you carry the flag of Central Equatoria, you are my brother and you are my sister. And this is the vision that we must have as young people.
I personally, I have too much belief in Aggrey. Why? Because I knew Aggrey, I think this is my 4th time that we are meeting with Aggrey, but I believe in the leadership skill Aggrey has. So as we sit here, I want to tell you that if you are a delegate here, let us cast our vote for this young man. Why am I saying so? When I pass through the manifestos, I am very pleased and impressed of what this young man is going to do. First of all, when I came in, I heard he was talking about the power of inclusivity. Central Equatoria State is a state of diversity. It hosts almost everybody. So if you get a leader who talks about a power of inclusivity, then we are moving in a right direction.
Since I knew him, he was very consistent in whatever he meant to do, and that's leadership. And the aspect of humility, I know him as a humble person, because for me, psychologically, I can assess what kind of personality you are, whether you are somebody who attacks people, either through your own normal life or the social media, because sometimes We can perceive you by the way you interact on the social aspect. But the way I know him is a very sober person, very calm, composed, and ready to give responses to whatever questions may arise.
I'm here about following the right brand. Because if you have seen the right brand, it will be the responsibility of everyone to follow and inform the rest that we are following the right brand. What do we mean by the right brand? We already know we are Putu, and in Putu we believe.
You know, they say charity begins at home. And for the aspirant himself, we have known him. I am not campaigning, but I'm just standing here like a witness. We've known him. And Mr. Aggrey Duku is a man of few words and full of actions. Yeah, he has written a lot in his manifesto, but we believe it will address the challenges of the youth, because for any leader to come in power, it's very important to include the youth themselves. And he has talked about the inclusivity of youth, and which I also got to be involved.
We wanted the youths of Central Equatoria State, in particular the delegates, for them to have access to own the manifesto. Because this manifesto is not designed only for Team Putu. It is designed for the youths of Central Equatoria State. So one of the points is for the youths to own it. Then two, we launched this manifesto to give them a chance on identifying who the leader that they wanted Akel to be.
So in this anticipated youth convention, I see 3 areas. Area number 1, this convention is not about election, but it's about the power of a young people coming together. So let us not only take this convention for election purpose, but let us take it as a space where we can come together and network. Number 2, this election should be a unifying factor. Today, when one candidate wins, we must also sum ourselves together and support. So it does not mean we need to compete among ourselves, but let the delegates to the convention choose the right leader that they see is the best among all the best candidates. So I want to urge all the delegates that they are given a responsibility to represent, and the counties entrusted them to be nominated from that big number of the young people who are existing in that constituency. Let them utilize it with integrity. Let them utilize this with fairness, and let them embrace the spirit of fairness and the spirit of togetherness. So let them use that responsibility to decide on what the future will hold. Thank you.
This is King Media, Beyond the News.